Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yo, I can hear you. Yo,
Are you guys in the same room?
Yeah, we're in the same room.
All right, so we are here today with Kre8artafax and Sneak, Miami artists, flat wall art artists at this time, Canvas. Are both of you using acrylic?
Yes. Primarily, yeah.
Yeah, and then Kre8, it looks like you're using a like a pour paint to finish off your canvases.
It's not a pour. It is a pour. It's not a pour. I kind of use a palette knife and kind of manipulate the paint over and over. I don't just free fall it and let it sit and then just keep it that way. I kind of manipulate it.
You're using a palette knife to get that effect.
Correct.
So you started off as a graffiti artist, huh? In Denver, New York?
Yes, in Denver, moved from Denver to Florida for a little while, and then Florida to New York. And I did most of my artistic career in New York.
And what made you kind of move from graffiti art to, you became a tattoo artist, huh?
Yes, I became a tattoo artist because we needed to fund these projects. It was either steal the paint or make the money to go buy the paint. So it's, I wanted to do everything legit, and then the more I immerse myself into the art world, the more that I see that I needed to be legit versus, be an outlaw within the realms of art, but be legit in every other aspect.
So are you guys involved in any like sort of sticker scene? I don't know if you can actually say that, if that's maybe you can't really say if you.
Here it's a little different. If you're trying to go into Brickle and stuff and put in stickers, then chances are you might have a little trouble. But if you're in the art scene in Linwood, if you're in Miami, you can place some plaster stickers all over the place. I have hundreds of my stickers all over windows and stuff like that.
So are you guys doing any? You guys are doing stickers, and what about merchandise? I can't find any hats or T-shirts of you guys.
No, I paint my own. But other than that, I kind of just leave it up to Canvas right now. I want to make sure that I have a real foundation before I start just over-channeling my work. I want that statement, I want that movement to be captured first. Sneak is the same way.
Yeah. What about you, Sneak? I was looking at your stuff, and I think it would be perfect for, those Benjamins on the front and the back of a T-shirt.
No, I got the 20,000 stuff on the canvas, but I don't know. I'm not doing the merchandise. The money stuff is cool. I like it. That's actually the whole brand of Sneak, which stands for something necessary everywhere and always king. Money is necessary everywhere. Cash is always king. And then that's me taking part of my life and old beliefs and washing those away and coming in with a new meaning of life, which was to pursue the art career. So Sneak was like a turning point, like a new chapter. The money art, that is basically me saying what used to be a prominent, thought in my mind of what mattered more than relationships or family time and doing the things that really matter, the true wealth. I would spend 7 days a week working in my office. So that was me washing away, saying, all right, money's not everything. Losing a few friends, relationships, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did notice that there was this take that you have on sort of luxury goods. You've got a lot of pieces with sort of recognizable brands in them, and then you see that there is sort of this, I guess, disdain for money at the same time.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it puts the money in your face, but at the same time, it destroys the currency. It's like it's saying, here's money, but it's not really, it's the opposite.
The Miami art scene, it seems like you're very sort of involved with, you moved from North Carolina and started with,
correct.
What was that called? Succinct, or what's the name of that? What's the name of that art show? What was your first show in Miami?
Oh, Spectrum. That was 2018. I did Spectrum. I got like a phone call. I applied to Red Dot 3 weeks prior to the thing. I packed up a U-Haul and a blow-up mattress and my art supplies, came down, created some artwork, and got a booth in Spectrum. And, made all my money back. $0.
But you got the exposure and the experience. And
Correct. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
And now you just had your own sort of solo show, the couture, elegant couture.
You talking about the artwork or the show for Art Basel?
You just did your own did your own show at the end of November, Elegant Couture. Was that a booth?
No, that was so Elegant Couture is actually a piece from a collection, from the erotic collection. So the show was Basel on the Bay.
Both of you guys have done Basel. Is that do you just buy a booth and then you show up, or is it
most.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get juried in a little bit, but most of the time they just want the money.
I've seen that in Portland. They do this one. It was called Portland Live, where it looks juried, but then it comes down to it, and it's a paid. You're buying a booth.
That's it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of using that platform?
Well, I mean, in all reality, I got discovered from Art Basel, so yeah, it changed my life. So I invested into Art Basel for 4 years, and out of all 4 years, I think I sold maybe 3 pieces. In the first year that I did, I actually sold the most. The first year, I don't consider it Art Basel because it was we were ponying off of the name, and I was in Hive, I was in Wynwood, and I sold like 5 pieces. But my price point was a lot different than how it is now.
Your price points, are you guys in galleries with like gallery representation at this time?
Right.
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the one? It's the Zenith Gallery. That's what you're in right now, Sneak? Or both of you are in it?
Yeah, that's actually how I met Zenith, was through Kre8.
Yeah. I don't function with them anymore. Jonathan and Carl are great people.
What do you look for when you're entering a gallery?
Sales, which is like at the end of the day, social media has really kind of levitated the playing field when it comes to artists and galleries, to where you don't really necessarily need a ton of representation. Representation is technically just credibility. Credibility doesn't pay bills. Yeah. So I went on a campaign 4 years ago because I reached out to every single gallery in Wynwood, and everybody kind of turned their shoulder to me and said, no, nobody's really, we've never seen that work, and we don't think that it's going to do well in our gallery. And then so I kind of went on a stock gallery premise for the next few years. So I made 100% of my revenue came from social media, which was solely Instagram. And we were doing very well. We did so well that I was able to invest into Art Basel for a few years after that. And then 2 years ago, I got discovered by David Smith. He's the #1 art publisher in the world right now. He has an amazing portfolio, and he presented my work to ParkWest, which ParkWest is the largest privately owned gallery in the world. They are the largest art dealer on the entire planet. So I went from having 1 or 2 galleries because I opened up to friends and people said, hey, do you mind showing our gallery? Your work is amazing. So there are a few, even still to this day, I'm in White Horse Gallery, also known as Our House. It's in Wynwood. And I know John for a while, so he's cool with me. But other than that, ParkWest has literally kind of taped a rocket to my ass and sent me into space. So now this virus has kind of hindered all progress for every artist. So this is the exact time that you can't use. You don't have enough time to do anything, to accomplish anything. People like myself, I always say that I'm a different kind of breed of artist. Because I had such a tattoo background, my approach was completely different than most fine painters. To be heavily tattooed, you see my ears are stretched, kind of abrasive. It's my appearance that has kind of, I felt like it hindered a little bit of the progress in the beginning, but now being exposed to the fine art world, they're actually using that as a catalyst. Like, this guy had such a rough background. and there's real testimony there that people can change if you it's all the choices that we make.
So ParkWest is taking you to like an international level. Are you selling overseas? And
correct. Yeah, we are. I'm on 96 cruise ships, which is 96 different galleries that are traveling worldwide, and then I'm on a handful of land galleries. I would say Key West, Las Vegas. I'm in one in New York, Hawaii, Scottsdale, Hawaii. Yeah, we're in a handful.
That's congratulations. Do you feel like I was going to ask you like where you see your art going in the future? Do you feel like being part of a gallery like that would sort of hinder your?
Well, now I'll be my own gallery because the movement is starting to become to where I don't need to kind of jump on everybody else's bandwagon. I'd rather just create my own bandwagon. That's what this whole faceless movement has started. You know, you can go on social media, and I guarantee you, on some sort of Explore feed and Facebook, you'll see replicas of my work. People are copying it literally day by day. I'm getting more and people, but now people are actually tagging in their work saying, "Hey, this work was inspired by Kre8." And that's great because there was a lot of people that have tried to steal it. Literally, they'll screenshot a few of my paintings, block me, repaint my painting verbatim. Like they don't even skip everything, every single color to the point, and then they'll resell it.
And claim it as completely original, no mention whatsoever. And it's like, boom, like clearly tried to be an exact mimic of it.
So it's like, damn, you know, so, you know, once this starts happening to your work, then there's some sort of revolutionary step that's happening. So I'm literally, you know, other than my subject matter being the way that it is, you know, it's not just because it's fitting home decor. It's because we, you know, this time when we were talking about this virus is the exact reason why I paint the way that I paint. You know, the reason why I paint everything in black and white is because this world is specifically set in that category of, depending on your status or status quo, that you are able to be above the law. So as you can see now that all of us citizens are, or technically all of us are on the same playing field. The president, this whole thing is impacting the entire world. So this black and gray that I paint is the society that we deal with. You know, just as you can see behind me, you know, the stuff that we're being fed every single day, you know, we hold it to such importance, and it's actually completely frivolous. And then they tell you that it's frivolous. They say that if you consume this, that this will help you, when we all know that it doesn't. You know, there's a chance that, you know, it could be a 50% chance. And then the color that you see in my work represents us as people. We are that energy, we are that power, we are that bright light. And no matter how dark this world gets, you've got to shine. You know, we were all meant to shine as kids. Some of us kind of retain it. I've always been the artsy fartsy kid, and I kind of just kept it throughout my life. Luckily, I had the platform of graffiti, tattoo. Tattoo was my formal teaching. It taught me about composition, perspective, color theory. You know, I mean, literally every value that I would need, and it taught me a lot. I mean, New York just made me a monster, saying that nobody's going to do it for me. You know?
Yeah, I think it's really ballsy of you, the way that, you know, you've got that black and white painting behind you that, I mean, as itself is really just a perfect painting. And then all of a sudden, I kind of expect that you're going to splatter it. You know,
correct. I'm going to put my abstract coming out, the actual sanitizer. Because, you know, we all know that it's clear, but I'm going to do it in gold because people value hand sanitizer more than they value gold. They thought this thing was going to save their life, and it actually has nothing to do with the hand sanitizer at all.
What are you ever afraid of like messing up a piece that, you know, once you paint that black and white and then you start, I watched a video of you splattering your pour paint, and I was like, oh, you know, you just goes for it, huh? And what happens if you feel like it's not quite what you?
It's methodical. It's not just, you know.
Yeah, it's calculated.
It's
now.
very calculated.
It used to be where I would just throw shit on the canvas, and then, you know, I would just run with it. But now I'm pretty surgical with it. Like, as you can see, the Amore piece, the the O is completely perfect. You know, there might be a little bit of bumps and twitches into it, but it looks like an O. It doesn't look, you know, that's where people really conceive it as being forward, and it's not forward.
Yeah, you can see that with you have this piece where this paint is coming off of like a balcony and hitting an umbrella, and you're just so controlled in your splatter. So yeah, it's a nice achievement.
Thanks, man.
The I see that a little bit in Sneak's paintings, but he seems to do it the other way around. You know, he goes from color into the black and white. These neon kind of Miami colors. You feel like Miami influences your neon in that?
Perfect.
Yeah, man. Obviously, the environment plays a role on the composition for sure. This new stuff, the stuff you're seeing now with the color, is just really truly inspired by his use of color, but twisting it a little bit. Obviously, it's not his style, but you see how the colors pop against the black and the white, that contrast. I really don't think there's, out of all the artists I've seen, and I don't say this because he's here, but I truly believe this, I've never seen too many that really master that use of the black and white, the contrast with the pop, that color pop. And he has a very unique way of popping the color and extracting the energy out of the subject. So when I, started working with him, obviously this new stuff you see with the color, complete direct correlation to what I see him do on a daily basis.
I hate him to say that.
No, man. This is all love, man. All genuine love. But the stuff you see though, the way you see that come down, it's actually a spray underlay, which I learned from him. Never used a can before working with him. And blend that, and then you come over top with the palette knife, also with a spray gun, and let it run. And you use other tools to just kind of get different little movements and effects and pops. And then I come over top of that with the black cityscape, which, like you said, life is black and white. Everything's black and white. But for me, doing the sunsets, I like doing sunsets, extracting the true beauty in life and adding that to the piece, which is why you see the bright colors. The Miami collection is obviously going to be neons. There will be other cities that will use different color palettes.
Yeah, I saw that you're moving around. My favorite piece of yours is but it actually doesn't even look like your style. It's the Chicago triptych.
Yeah. Those were the first cityscapes I did, man. And I actually will do more of those. The more triptychs. It'll be all triptychs. But those are more like, fuck, dude, those are freeing. They're so fun to make because they're just abstract. You don't have to really focus on fine detail. You just have to have the basic structure and dimension of the city skyline. Those are fun.
I love that one. It's different than your other. So that was like one of the first ones then you did, and then you kind of went into your own style.
Yeah. So I started out painting in 2012, working at a store, and this is what it started with. It was erotics, cityscapes, sunsets, and abstract. I did those four. I've always stuck to those four things, and I've always done my portraits and erotics in black and white, just because I like black and white. And then the cityscapes I try to give more life to with the color, but the color palettes are clearly different on the Chicago.
You're not considering the money ones as part of your work of
art.
Money.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
You're not considering the money ones as part of your sort of body of work any longer?
No, everything, even the cityscapes that you see here have money in them. They have, I cut up strips of dollar bills. They go down the side of the building. I might do like a palm tree leaf. Some part of that it still sticks to the brand, the Sneak brand with the money. The money art is the art that I do. So it all washes away money. It says, hey, there's money in art. There's money in Miami. Obviously, Miami's that luxury lifestyle. But at the same time, money is nothing. So I'm still destroying it.
I know. Are you gluing money to your canvas?
Right. Yeah.
Real money.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy ass.
Yeah. There's one I did on my page too. If you look, the I Am King. It's all Egyptian currency. All Egyptian hundreds. I Am King. That's making ourselves kings as individuals.
Oh, I am king, like with the king.
So all of us are kings, all of us are queens. It's how you treat yourself and how you act on a daily basis to make you that.
Are you in ParkWest Gallery as well?
No, I'm not in any of his galleries. No, I'm in Zenith, Canvas, and I'm doing the online stuff. And obviously through the coronavirus, I'll be talking to more people about doing some other galleries. But I agree with him, man. Like, galleries are not a thing of the past, really, but they're certainly not. The presence they hold in the art world has been diminished so much. I mean, I think that's another reason you saw so many galleries closing in the Wynwood area. They just can't. It's hard to hang when you have online, you have Instagram. Now you have reputable galleries that are online galleries only, and they've been around for 10, 15 years, so they have a reputation. So you got people that go to those, and then the cost to keep a brick and mortar open in a city like this is just skyrocketed. So you really have to sell a lot of art. The gallery presence is not like it used to be. And then you have festivals, these fairs that pop up where any emerging artist can get into. So I don't think I'll stretch too much of my energy on trying to find a lot of galleries.
Yeah. What about
ParkWest being said is top notch. I mean, that's where you want to be.
What'd you say? ParkWest is top notch?
Yeah, ParkWest, yeah.
Yeah.
So ParkWest is going to provide a real structure for you.
Right.
They catalog everything to make history. It's not just say, hey, let's sell some artwork. No, we're going to create a body. We're going to create your whole entire movement. So whatever you have, they just solidify everything. They give you that real representation. They give you real value, because you got to look at it in terms of, okay, I have gallery representation, but then show me the sales for the gallery. They sold maybe $20,000, maybe $100,000 in a year, but they're representing 30, 40 artists, and you really break down those numbers. The artists really they really give the meaning to a starving artist. They're like, they give you a little bit, but they don't give you the best. And then there's a lot of different variations of galleries too. There's galleries that will pay you to show your work. Yeah. And then there's other galleries that are free, and then there's galleries that you have to pay to show your work. Every platform is used for something specific, because at some point these are the steps of our world. It's the ABCs of the art world. First you do this, then you do this, then you move on to this. Hopefully you work hard enough that you reach these milestones within a year, versus people try to use their entire career. What you could have did in 4 years, it's taking 25 years, because people just aren't diligent anymore. People just don't want to work anymore. Miami is a perfect example of that, because it's known as the paradise city that everybody wants to party, they want to live it up, but nobody wants to put in the time. So I came here from New York, and nobody was really willing to work. And I started with all these artists, with all the artists in Wynwood. We're all the same. We all kind of started at the same time. These people have been doing it for longer. But I came out here, and within 2 years, I already had gallery representation. And then 3 years, I got ParkWest. And I'm not saying it just has nothing to do with being technically better than anybody. It just literally does that 4-letter word of work. I just stuck to my guns.
It doesn't.
I just did it. I put in 100 to 120 hours a week painting. So you do the mathematics. 40 hours. I always say this analogy that 40 hours worth of work will render you 40 hour results. 80 hours will render you 80 hour results. I was doing 120 hours. So I stuck 10 years into 3 years. So a lot of speculation out in the art world right now, especially when created this, created that. He didn't deserve it because he blew up too fast. It's mathematics. There's a lot of envy out here. Nobody wants to congratulate anybody. Nobody wants to say, hey, good job. Everybody's kind of like, oh, well, if I get close to him, then maybe he'll steal my shine. Because I tried to reach out to other artists and say, hey, man, let's do stuff together. And some reason it doesn't happen. And Sneak, he reached out to me a little over a year ago, and he says, hey, man, I've been watching your movement for a long time, and you got what it takes, and I need to be by who got what it takes. And then that's usually what happens. And as you can see, my work, and he was a very accomplished painter before he met me. So what I did is, by him being around me, and he's learned a lot from me, as well as I've learned a lot from him. This is what art is about. It's self-expression. And people have lost the terms of self-expression. People are wanting to paint my stuff. It's not self-expression. And then when I approach them, people will contact me and say, hey, this guy's copying your work. And then I reach out to them and say, hey, man, I don't really appreciate you really painting my work. You know, and if you do paint my work, at least give me a shout out saying, hey man, this work is inspired by Kre8artafax. But they don't. I contact them. They get insulted because they're like, this is my work. And it's like, no, it's not your work. You copy my painting. So this is where we're at in the art world. People, you know, and those same people say a good artist uses and a great artist steals. That's not the mentality. It's not the mentality to have, you know, and I get to take little bits and pieces, but when you're literally replicating somebody's work, it's just something else. You know, my work, I'm definitely influenced by Salvador Dali, but my work looks nothing like him because I use his platform, not his actual education. I didn't want to make, and as everybody can see, I love to paint melting clocks. I love to paint elephants with really long legs. Yes, that is definitely, and that's just me paying homage to him. That's not me copying his work. It's me paying homage. It's paying it forward to keep his movement alive. For the people that don't know about him, well, people are these are trends. So right now I'm a trend. So kind of anything that I do kind of gets set as like a, oh shit, I have exposed people to Dali that never even knew who he was.
What
so
do you
and people come at me, these illustrators that are saying, no, you need to learn, you need to be educated, you need to have a school of hard knocks, and you got to be in debt like all of us. And it's like, who said you were the Messiah that set these rules for us? To say that we have to do it this way, you have to have gallery representation, you have to have these things to become successful. That's another reason why I paint rough, because I'm showing people that you don't have to paint perfect, because I had that notion in my head that, man, I wanted to become famous, and how can I become famous? Well, you have to paint perfect, and that's not it at all. It's the story. It's everything else. The painting part is the easiest part of this whole movement. Is just the actual applying a paintbrush to acrylic and acrylic to the canvas. That's the easiest part. It's all the other attributes that you have to consider to become a business. People say, well, you know, people are calling me a sellout. You know, and I'll take that. Say whatever you want. You know, you struggle in these times, yet I'm not struggling. And this is why I'm trying to convey the story of all it is hard work. Just put your goddamn head down. People contact me every single day saying, hey man, how did you do it? And they don't believe me when I say hard work.
Right.
No, did you know somebody? Did somebody give you an in? Did somebody, no, nobody. Nobody handed me anything. Everybody nowadays wants to get handed something. You owe me. No, oh, remember when I did this for you? You owe me this. And when I did this, when I help people, I don't want nothing in return. I'm helping Sneak because it's his time.
Yeah.
This is how it works. And people say, you know, why are you helping him? Why are you helping him? Help him with his thing. Well, sometimes it takes a few wrong answers to get the right answer. So by him going back and saying, hey man, help me out a little bit. People need to step away from pride. You know, because pride doesn't pay bills. Integrity doesn't pay bills. You can stand by all this stuff, but unless you're applying it, it doesn't mean anything. So a lot of people have a preconceived notion on artists being completely degenerates, and it's very true. Because it's hard, because you don't have a coach, you don't have a mentor. Most of the time, people are too built in their ego to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, so me, I'm a student of art. So yeah, I've been painting. I have mastered art 3 times. I've got over 30,000 hours under my belt, which means it takes 10,000 hours to master something. I mastered it 3 times. But yet people still don't listen to the actual essence of why I do what I do versus trying to apply it. They automatically come in and they say, well, shit, it's working for him. I'm going to paint his stuff because it's working. But damn, you trivialize my entire movement by doing that.
I have a question about, so with people stealing your work, what is your take on copywriting and licensing your artwork?
Well, I mean, I'm trademarked as an artist.
Right.
You know, I can't, I mean, unless they are literally painting it,
signing
my name. Yeah. They can paint my painting, but if they don't sign my name, then it doesn't mean anything. I can take them to court. Chances are I'll win, but I'll pay just as much. So it's more of a burden than anything. And we all know that if somebody's copying, they're already behind you. And that's another one of those other attributes that I have. It's like, okay, you can paint my stuff. You can even paint it better than me, but you won't outwork me. And that's what these artists have to do. And they're just not willing to work. There are the people that are willing to work, and I'm standing right next to them, and we're on center stage. It's called ParkWest. You know, it has levitated people. There is no company like ParkWest. You start doing a little bit of research, and then a lot of the galleries are anti-ParkWest because they have cornered the market, because they have set a real solid platform, and they've been doing this stuff for over 50 years. They have catapulted hundreds of artists. They have made their careers. Some of the all of the top revenue generating artists in the world right now are generating it through ParkWest.
So, we gotta cut this off. These videos are timed. It only allows you to record so much.
No worries.
We could reconnect, or you guys want to give like a final message?
Work,
yeah, man. Just do it. Use this time.
You don't need to get an opportunity. You create the opportunity.
Right. Yeah, it answers itself. That's what you said. Work. As long as you work, if that opportunity doesn't come tomorrow, next week, next year, just keep working. Eventually, when it comes, the person that brings it and delivers that, presents that to you, you can't deny the work. You know you did everything you could do to make that situation occur and to fulfill that situation and move forward past it because you prepped for it. So just continue working, use this time to be creative and make good shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sneak.
Yeah, man.
Hey, nice to meet you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Likewise.
Send you, man.
Have a good night. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.